Hello and welcome to a look at BreakThru for the Commodore 64, a Data East arcade original that was released by US Gold. The plot behind this game is that a super secret spy fighter plane thing has been stolen, and your task is to break through 5 enemy-held territories in order to retrieve the super secret spy fighter plane thing. You have to ask yourself how super secret it was, since someone managed to nick it, but game plots, yeah, don't worry too much about them. You are granted an armored vehicle with a forward-firing gun and the ability to do super jumps that would make Kit from Knight Rider blush with jealousy. And then you have to navigate 5 areas filled with obstacles, enemies, and other such objects to either fight or avoid. Mainly, of course, using the before mentioned super jump. The 5 areas you have to navigate consist of a mountain, bridge, prairie, city, and finally the airfield. And of course, set levels are filled with obstacles to avoid. There would be no reason for you to have a super jump if you didn't have to make use of it. And various different enemy types that will appear on the screen and try to shoot at you or run you over or whatever else they might do. And then of course mines and all sorts of static objects that you should do your best to either avoid or blow up. The gameplay area is scrolling from left to right, and you can affect the scroll speed somewhat by pushing further to the right in order to increase the scroll speed, or push to the left in order to decrease it. And that is depending on your desire for a faster gameplay, or just want to take it easy and let the game run its own course. From a graphical point of view, I can safely say that this game is rather basic looking. The backgrounds are very generic and not particularly interesting to look at. And the main vehicle, which is supposed to be this super spiffy armored vehicle thing, looks more like a glorified buggy, a minuscule version of the buggy used in Moon Patrol, if you ask me. Maybe I'm overdoing things. The enemies are there, but they are quite bland, and shots are unnecessarily big for both the player vehicle and for enemy vehicles. I don't think you could say anything positive about the graphics, so I will just leave it at that. The sound effects are incredibly generic, and of course you have a sound effect when you jump, because that's important, and that sound effect is particularly annoying to listen to. That's opinion based, but I find it incredibly annoying all the same. The only music there is the title music, and in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think it is important for music to catch your ear immediately, so you want to listen to more of it. And the first 15-20 seconds of the music sounds absolutely horrible, so you don't want to listen to it. And by not giving it the chance to actually play for a while, you don't get to listen to the juicy stuff. It's not epic in any way, shape or form, but it's significantly better than the first few seconds of it, and most people will likely never hear it because they are just trying to get the game going in order to skip past those initial horrible sounds. The controls, left, right, up, down, will move you left, right, up and down. Then you hit the fire button to fire your gun, and you use the space bar to jump. And while the controls in and by themselves are perfectly responsive, the fact that you have to use the spacebar to jump makes it incredibly obnoxious, because often you have to jump within a split second decision-making thing, and the delay between you making the decision to jump and actually reaching over and hitting the spacebar can be enough to cause you to bump into something or miss a jump and lose a life. Meaning, of course, that the controls end up working against you more so than for you, which is never a good thing. Data East, as an arcade manufacturer, was generally carrying the reputation of making decent but fairly generic games. They are likely most famously remembered for Karate Champ, of course, because of its great control scheme, or obnoxious control scheme, whatever you decide to call it. And while even at its time of release this game's gameplay was perhaps nothing special, it offered fairly decent graphics and a fairly enjoyable soundscape, none of which has been captured by the Commodore 64 conversion. If I was to summarize this conversion in one word, it would be bland. The graphics, sound, and gameplay is incredibly bland. That's the only word for it. But on top of that, the game has certain issues which are not particularly enjoyable. In the arcade conversion, you could actually jump over stuff. Not just background objects, but also shots. The jumping in this particular conversion makes you temporarily immune to collisions with backgrounds, but not other objects, meaning that you get pushed into positions where you need to jump over background obstacles only to get shot in mid-air with little to no chance to avoid it. Add to the fact that there is no checkpoint system in this particular conversion, meaning that when you lose a life, which is easily done, you have to restart the level completely. On top of that, you have power-ups which do nothing. The weapon power-ups will do absolutely nothing. The extra life power-ups will give you extra lives, but yeah. Considering the other games that were available for the Commodore 64 in 1985, this one definitely missed the mark. On that note, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time. Bye bye for now.